morning, everyone. Good morning, Suji. I would like to thank Sevankur for giving us the opportunity to talk about this. My fellow has really mentioned almost all the points which were about which we had the experience about. So there is a saying that when you feel weak, you should surrender, and when you feel strong, you should do seva. So all of us here are either very strong, like the consultants are, or some of the people like me who had a misconception of being strong. I would like to mention a few points or salient features which we all grabbed through this health camp of 1 week of nation. So the main highlight was the tribal villages. These people taught us about the three most important things, that is hospitality, attachment, and then the health camp taught us about the emotion. Talking about hospitality, in Marathi, we say that जेव्हा एक पाहुणा आपल्या घरी येतो, or even if it is an enemy, you should never send him without having water. Living in the cities, it has become a private zone, and I would say that many of the people living in the cities don't even want their relatives to enter their homes, and they want their own spaces. I genuinely felt blessed when we went to the villages and those people offered us a warm welcome. They let us into their home, they accommodated ourselves, and I really would like to share a small experience. The house in which we were living was dripping throughout the night. It was a rainy night and it was dripping throughout the night. Genuinely, staying in the city, we all of the people living in the house, we really felt you can say discomfort. But that was the time when we got highlighted that these people are living there throughout, and that is how actual life is, and we are living in a lot of harmony. So that was one thing which I learned from them. Then comes point of attachment. We all have a few things in our mind that you need to spend time with a person to get attached. But definitions totally changed when we met these people. I think we were hardly together for 12 hours with the villagers, but the attachment which we shared with them was really phenomenal. Because I still remember while we were leaving the village, those people had tears in their eyes, and the statement which they did, he said, "Sir, we would like you to stay for a couple of days, but due to shortage of time, we couldn't do that." So that was really phenomenal. Then came the health camp. Talking about the health camp, being a doctors and serving patients for the last few years, whatever we used to do is we used to talk to the patients and we used to send them by prescribing medicines. But emotion, we never lived the patient's life. So that was the time when we actually lived there and we got to know that these patients have really a miserable life. Apart from serving them with medicines, I think it was a duty to understand their pain. Bauddhic sessions, talking about them, those were phenomenal. Why? Because actually we get all the content from those in books, but actually all the tutors taught us how to implement that in the day-to-day life. So it was kind of a bridge between theory and practical. Talking about a small mention about Dr. Tupkari sir, I think he's not here today, and he's the one who he's the main person of the foundation who started the thing. I had imaginations about him that he's really a great personality and it would be tough to approach him. But by seeing his simplicity, I got to know that however a person might rise, his roots are always on the ground. That simple the man was. So that was really phenomenal. And one thing I would like to add is the schedule and the time management with which the camp had. I think we hardly could spare time for ourselves, like using our phones or using social media. So it was a proper, perfectly planned everything, and we didn't even know how the time passed away. So now talking about the group activities, bonding, teamwork, and collaboration, that were the things which we all learned. One of the specific point I would like to mention is the difference in pathies. So we had we had members from all the pathies. There is allopathy, we had Ayurveda, we had homeopathy, and also physiotherapy and dental people. And in cities, what happens is in tertiary setups there is discrimination between all the pathies. It's because they just want to pull legs off each other and prove each other's wrong. So here we would like to highlight that we had really good sessions between us, very descriptive sessions where we actually developed a holistic approach. And I think that is the future of medicine, where all pathies should come together and have their positive negatives together and figure things out. So that was all about our group activities. Talking about the individual growth, food habits was the most important thing which I would like to mention. Living in the cities, we are prone to waste food, we are prone to just leave the plates off as it is. Now we realize that our moms wash the plates. What pain would she be having to wash our plates? We even had problems while washing our own plates. She washes the plates of all the people in the home. So that was one thing of food habits. Then we developed communication skills, talking with the people who we hardly know. That was one thing which we developed. And the most important thing, as I said, that staying away from social media. Mobile has become the fourth basic need along with food, clothing, and shelter for everybody. But living here, I realized that no, actually we should keep away the phones. We can learn actually a lot many things through the world. So As she has already said about the SVYM Institute, they have given us a lot of things. Also, they have listened to our tantrums like hot water and everything. So I would like to really thank them. They have really showed us a different perspective of life, a different perspective of education, and a different perspective of infrastructure. I hope this kind of education gets implemented all over the country, so it will develop in a tremendous speed. So coming to a conclusion, it is an eye opener. It was an eye opener for all the people who wanted to do seva. It was a pleasure for those who already were into it, and it was a lesson for those who never wished to do seva. We had a beautiful session by R. Balu sir in which he said that he was just a mediator and Swami Vivekananda was the supreme who was getting things done through him. That was the time when I just thought, is it really true? But after 3 days of serving people, I got to know that we are just the mediators. If we are not there, some other person would be there. But it is all about getting the things done. So to conclude, Sevankur is not just about building an institution. It is about nurturing values. Institutions might collapse, but the values remain alive forever. So by talking this, I would like to conclude my session. I would like to thank Sevankur and also thank you Swamiji for letting me the opportunity to speak in front of you. Thank you everybody.